The lights of Halo 7 station never turned off. They glowed soft white during the day cycle and soft blue during the night cycle. But they were always on. Tae-woo had lived here for 6 years now, and he still was not used to it. He missed the real darkness of Earth. He missed the stars you could see from his old village in Korea. Here, the stars were outside the windows, but they felt far away. Everything felt far away. Tae-woo walked through the main corridor of the station with his 2 children holding his hands. Sora was on his left. Dae was on his right. They were 7 years old, twins born 3 months before the war ended. They had their mother's eyes, dark and bright at the same time. Every time Tae-woo looked at them, he saw Yuna. It hurt. It also kept him going. The corridor was busy with beings from many worlds. A tall insect creature walked past them, its legs clicking on the metal floor. A group of small gray aliens with big eyes floated by on a transport platform. A human woman in a blue uniform nodded at Tae-woo as she passed. He nodded back. He knew her face but not her name. That was life on the station. You saw the same faces every day, but you stayed strangers. Sora pulled at his hand. She was always the one who pulled. She was curious about everything. She wanted to touch everything, smell everything, talk to everyone. Dae was different. He watched. He listened. He noticed things that others missed. Together, they were perfect. Together, they were all Tae-woo had left. They were walking home from school. The station had a school for human children and a few alien children too. Sora and Dae went there every day while Tae-woo worked at the cargo docks. He moved boxes. He checked lists. He made sure ships got loaded right. It was simple work. It was safe work. After the war, safe was all he wanted. The war. 15 years ago now. Tae-woo had been young then. 23 years old. Strong. Full of fire. He had joined the military because he believed in protecting Earth. He had believed in a lot of things back then. The first contact war changed everything. Humans met aliens for the first time, and instead of friendship, there was fire. The Volcari came from a world far across the galaxy. They wanted Earth's water, Earth's metals, Earth's land. They did not ask. They took. Tae-woo fought for 4 years. He saw friends die. He killed enemies. He did things he still dreamed about. And then, in the last year of the war, the Volcari bombed Seoul. Yuna was there. She was visiting her mother. The bombs fell at noon on a Tuesday. Tae-woo was on a ship 1,000 light years away when he got the news. His wife was gone. His life was gone. But somehow, he had to keep living. Because Yuna had left him something. 2 small babies, safe in a military shelter. Sora and Dae. The war ended 3 months later. Humans won. Or at least, that is what they said. Tae-woo did not feel like a winner. He felt empty. He took his children and left Earth. He could not stay there. Too many memories. Too much pain. He found work on Halo 7, a trade station at the edge of human space. Here, humans and aliens lived together. Here, the war was supposed to be forgotten, but Tae-woo did not forget. He could not forget. Every time he saw a Valkyrie on the station, his hands made fists. His heart beat fast. He wanted to hurt them. He wanted to scream at them, but he never did. He stayed quiet. He walked away. He did not want his children to see his hate. He did not want them to carry it like he did. Sora and they did not hate anyone. They were too young to remember the war. They only knew what the school taught them. The war happened. It was bad. Now it was over. They had alien friends at school. They played games with children from other worlds. They did not see species. They only saw friends. Tae-woo loved this about them. He also feared it. The galaxy was not as kind as his children believed. They turned a corner and entered the cargo district. This was the part of the station where twHFY worked. Big rooms full of boxes and crates. Ships coming and going. Machines humming and beeping. At night, it was quieter. Most workers went home. Only security drones floated through the empty halls. SORA stopped walking. Her hand squeezed tight around twHFY's fingers. He looked down at her. "What is it?" She pointed ahead. "Appa, look." twHFY looked. Near an empty loading bay, there was a shape against the wall. It was big. Very big. At first, twHFY thought it was a pile of cargo bags. Then it moved slowly, just a little, and he saw what it really was, a Valkyrie. twHFY's body went cold. His old soldier instincts woke up. His muscles got tight. His eyes got sharp. He looked at the alien and saw everything at once. The round, heavy body. The thick skin that was gray and dull. The 6 short arms folded against its chest. The wide, flat face with small, dark eyes. Valkyrie were big creatures. This one was huge. It sat slumped against the wall like a mountain that had fallen over. 3 security drones floated around it. Their lights blinked yellow. Warning lights. But they did not do anything. They just watched. After a moment, they floated away. The Valkyrie was not breaking any rules. It was just sitting there. Alone. Other aliens walked past. A group of tall, thin creatures with blue skin. They looked at the Valkyrie and walked faster. They moved far around it, like it was dirty. Like it was dangerous. A small robot rolled past and did not even slow down. Nobody stopped. Nobody spoke to the Valkyrie. It was like it was not there. twHFY pulled his children's hands. "Come on, let us go home." But they did not move. Sora kept staring at the alien. They did too. Their small faces were serious. twHFY felt something twist in his stomach. He knew that look. It was the same look Yuna used to have when she saw a hurt animal or a crying child. The look that said, "I cannot walk away from this." "Appa," Sora said softly. "Why is he so sad?" twHFY did not answer. He did not know how to answer. He wanted to say, "Because he is Valkyrie. Because his kind killed your mother. Because I hate him." But the words stayed inside. Day looked up at his father. His dark eyes were calm and deep. "It looks like you did, Appa. After Mom." The words hit twHFY like a punch. He stood very still. His children did not know what they were saying. They were too young to understand. But somehow, they understood perfectly. They saw something in that broken alien that reminded them of their father. The same emptiness. The same pain. The same look of a person who had lost everything. twHFY looked at the Valkyrie again. Really looked this time. The alien's skin was supposed to glow. All Valkyrie had bioluminescent skin that showed their feelings. This one barely glowed at all. Just a weak gray pulse. Like a heartbeat that was giving up. Its eyes were open, but it did not seem to see anything. It just sat there, alone in the middle of a busy station, and nobody cared. For a moment, twHFY saw himself. 15 years ago. Sitting in a military ship, holding a picture of Yuna, wanting to die. Nobody had helped him then. He had survived alone. He had found his way back to life because of Sora and Day. But what if he had not had them? What if he had been truly alone? He shook his head. No, this was different. This was a Valkyrie. An enemy, a monster. He would not feel sorry for it. But his children kept staring. And the alien kept sitting there. And somewhere deep inside twHFY's chest, something old and hard began to crack. He did not know it yet, but everything was about to change. The security drones floated away into the darkness of the cargo district. Their yellow lights faded around a corner, and then they were gone. The Valkyrie was alone again. Or almost alone. Tae-woo and his children still stood in the corridor, watching Tae-woo try again to pull the twins away. His hands were gentle but firm. "Come on, it is getting late. We need to go home." Sora did not move. Her feet stayed planted on the metal floor. She was small for her age, but she was strong in her own way. When she decided something, she did not change her mind easily. "Appa, wait. I want to know why he is sad." "He is just sitting there," Tae-woo said. "It is not our business." "But nobody is helping him," they said quietly. His voice was soft like always, but there was something in it that made Tae-woo stop. "Everyone walks past him. Like he is invisible. That is not right." Tae-woo closed his eyes for a moment. He could hear Yuna's voice in his head. She would have said the same thing. She always said that kindness was free and it cost nothing to care. She had been the good one, the kind one. Tae-woo had just been a soldier. He knew how to fight. He did not know how to heal. The Valkyrie moved. Just a little. Its big head turned toward them. Two small dark eyes found them in the dim light. It looked at Tae-woo. Then it looked at the children. For a long moment, nobody moved. Then the alien spoke. Its voice was deep and rough, like rocks grinding together. It spoke in Galactic Common, the language everyone used on space stations. "Go away." Sora did not go away. She stepped forward instead. Tae-woo's heart jumped, but he did not stop her. He watched her walk toward the massive creature with no fear in her small body. "Why?" she asked. "Are you sick?" The Valkyrie made a sound. It might have been a laugh. It might have been a cough. "Sick, yes, you could say that." Its skin flickered with weak gray light. "Go away, little human. I am not someone you want to talk to." "Why not?" Sora asked. The alien was quiet for a moment. It seemed surprised that she was still there. Most people ran from Valkyrie. Most people were afraid. But this small human child just stood there, looking up at it with curious eyes. "I am shamed," the Valkyrie said finally. "Exiled, untouchable. Do you understand these words?" Sora shook her head. "What does exiled mean?" Tae-woo should have stepped in. He should have grabbed his daughter and taken her home. But something kept him frozen. Maybe it was the way the alien spoke. There was no anger in its voice. No threat, just tiredness. A tiredness so deep it seemed to go all the way to its bones. "Exiled means I cannot go home," the Valkyrie said. "My people do not want me anymore. They have thrown me out. I am alone now, forever." They had walked forward too. He stood next to his sister now, both of them looking at the alien like it was a puzzle they wanted to solve. "Why did they throw you out?" he asked. The Valkyrie's skin pulsed, darker, grayer. "I failed. I was a trade negotiator. My job was to make deals for my clan. Good deals that would bring wealth and honor. But I made a bad deal. I lost money. I brought shame to my family. On my world, that is the worst thing you can do." "That is not fair," Sora said. "Everyone makes mistakes." "Not among my people," the alien said. "We do not forgive mistakes. When someone fails, they become nothing. Nobody speaks to them. Nobody feeds them. Nobody gives them shelter. They are dead while still alive. That is what I am now. Dead while still alive." Tae-woo felt something move in his chest. He knew that feeling. He had felt it after Yuna died. The feeling of being a ghost walking through a world that did not see you anymore. "What is your name?" they asked. The Valkyrie looked at the small boy. Its dark eyes seemed confused. "Why do you want to know my name?" "Because you are a person," they said simply. "Persons have names." The alien was quiet for a long time. When it spoke again, Its voice was softer. "Brahm, my name is Brahm." "Hello, Brahm," Sora said. "I am Sora. This is my brother Day. That is our Appa." She pointed at Tay-Wu. Brahm looked at Tay-Wu. Their eyes met. Tay-Wu saw something in the alien's gaze. Recognition, maybe. Or something close to it. Like Brahm could see the soldier inside Tay-Wu. Like he knew what Tay-Wu was thinking. "Your father fought in the war," Brahm said. It was not a question. Tay-Wu stepped forward. His body was tense. "Yes, I can see it in you," Brahm said. "The way you stand. The way you watch me. You want to hurt me. I understand. Many of your kind do." Sora looked back at her father. Her eyes were wide. "Appa, that is not true, right?" Tay-Wu did not answer. He could not lie to his children. But he could not tell them the truth either. The truth was ugly. The truth was that part of him did want to hurt this alien. Part of him still burned with hate from 15 years ago. Brahm spoke again. "I did not fight in the war. I was too young then. I was just a child, like your children are now. But I know what my people did. I know about the bombs. The deaths. The pain." His skin pulsed weakly. "I am sorry. I know that does not help. But I am sorry." The words hung in the air. Tay-Wu did not know what to do with them. He had never heard a Valkyrie say sorry before. He had not known they could. "Why did you come here?" Tay-Wu asked. His voice was hard, but not as hard as before. "To human space. Why come here if you knew we would hate you?" "Because I had nowhere else to go," Brahm said. "My world threw me out. Other Valkyrie colonies would not take me either. The shame follows me everywhere. I thought maybe humans would be different. You are a young species. You do not know our ways. I thought maybe you would give me work, food, a place to exist." "And did you find those things?" They asked. Brahm's body seemed to sink lower against the wall. "No, no one will hire me. They see what I am and they turn away. Some because they fear my kind. Some because they know I am shamed. Even other Valkyrie on this station will not look at me. I have been here for 2 months. I sleep in empty cargo bays. I eat scraps from garbage. I am dying slowly, and no one cares." Sora made a small sound. A sound of pain. She felt things deeply, just like her mother had. "That is so sad," she whispered. "It is what I deserve," Brahm said. "I failed my clan. I brought shame. This is my punishment." "No," Sora said firmly. "Nobody deserves to be alone. Nobody deserves to die like this." Brahm looked at her. His dark eyes seemed wet. Could Valkyrie cry? Tay-Wu did not know. He had never seen one show any emotion other than anger. "You are strange, little human," Brahm said. "You do not fear me. You do not hate me. Why?" Sora thought about this. Then she said, "Because you are sad. And sad people need help, not hate." They tugged at his father's sleeve. He looked up at Tay-Wu with those dark eyes that saw everything. "Appa," he said softly. "Can we help him?" Tay-Wu felt the question like a weight on his chest. His whole body wanted to say no. Every memory of the war screamed at him to walk away. This was a Valkyrie. The enemy. The monsters who took Yuna from him. He owed them nothing. Less than nothing. But then he looked at his children. At Sora's fierce compassion. At Day's quiet wisdom. They were so much like their mother. And Yuna would never have walked away from someone in pain. Not even an enemy. Not even someone who did not deserve her kindness. Tay-Wu was tired. Tired of hating. Tired of carrying the war inside him. Tired of being the angry ghost he had become. He looked at Brahm and saw not a monster, but a broken creature. Just like him. just like everyone the war had touched. He took a deep breath. Then another. His hands relaxed at his sides. "Come with us," he said. Brom's skin flickered. Colors moved across it. Surprise. Confusion. Maybe hope. "What?" "Come with us," twHFY said again. "You need food. You need rest. My home is small, but there is room." Brom did not move. He stared at twHFY like he could not believe what he was hearing. "You are a human soldier. I am Valkyrie. Why would you help me?" twHFY looked at his children. They were smiling. Small, bright smiles that made the gray station feel a little warmer. "Because my children asked me to," he said. "I'm trying to be the kind of man they think I am." He reached out his hand. It was the hardest thing he had ever done. Harder than fighting. Harder than killing. Harder than surviving. Brom looked at the hand for a long moment. Then, slowly, he reached out one of his own 6 arms and let twHFY help him stand. They walked together through the empty cargo bay. A human veteran, 2 small children, and a massive alien exile. An impossible group. But somehow, in that moment, it felt right. twHFY's home was a small box. That was what he always thought when he walked through the door. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a kitchen that was also the living room. Metal walls painted soft blue to make them feel less cold. A window that looked out at the stars. It was not much, but it was theirs. Brom did not fit through the door. He tried. His massive body pushed against the frame, and the metal groaned. The twins stood inside, watching with wide eyes and hands over their mouths to hide their giggles. twHFY felt something strange happening to his face. It took him a moment to realize he was almost smiling. "Turn sideways," he said. "And duck lower." Brom tried again. He twisted his huge body and pushed. Metal scraped against his thick skin. For a moment, he was stuck. Then with a pop, he came through. He stumbled forward and almost fell. His 6 arms waved to keep his balance. The twins could not hold it anymore. They laughed. Not mean laughs. Joyful laughs. Like children who had just seen something magical. Brom looked down at them. His skin flickered with colors. twHFY did not know what the colors meant, but they looked warmer than before. Brighter. "Your home is very small," Brom said. "Yes," twHFY agreed. "We do not need much." The alien looked around. His dark eyes moved over the simple furniture. The small table. The worn couch. The drawings on the wall that the twins had made. Pictures of spaceships and aliens and flowers. Brom stopped at one drawing. It showed a woman with long black hair standing next to 2 small figures. "Who is this?" he asked. So I walked over. "That is Ariama, our mother. She is in heaven now." Brom was quiet. His skin went darker. "I am sorry. How did she die?" twHFY felt his chest tighten. The old pain woke up, sharp and fresh. But before he could speak, they answered. "The bombs," they said softly. "During the war. When we were babies." Brom's whole body went still. His skin turned gray, almost black. He looked at twHFY with something new in his eyes. Understanding and shame. "Valkyrie bombs," Brom said. It was not a question. twHFY nodded once. The alien lowered his head. His 6 arms folded close to his body, making himself smaller. "And yet you bring me into your home. You feed me. You show me kindness. I do not understand humans." "Neither do I sometimes," twHFY said quietly. He walked to the small kitchen area. "Sit down. I will make food." There was no chair big enough for Brom. He sat on the floor instead, his massive body taking up most of the living space. The twins sat near him, cross-legged, still looking at him with curious eyes. They had no fear, Children were strange that way. They did not carry the weight of history like adults did. Tae-woo heated up food. Simple things: rice, vegetables, some protein cubes that tasted like chicken if you imagined hard enough. Station food was never great, but it was warm and it was enough. He brought plates to the table. Then he brought a bigger plate for Brahm. The alien looked at the food but did not touch it. "What is wrong?" Sora asked. "Are you not hungry?" "I am very hungry," Brahm said. "I have not eaten properly in many weeks. But I must tell you something first. Something important." Tae-woo sat down across from him. "Tell us." Brahm's skin pulsed slowly. "Among my people, sharing food is not simple. It is not like your meals. When a Valkyrie eats food given by another, it creates a bond. A deep bond. Almost like family. It is sacred. It cannot be undone." The twins looked at each other. Then at their father. Tae-woo thought about this. "So, if you eat our food, we become connected. Like family." "Yes, in Valkyrie tradition, I would owe you loyalty, protection. I would be part of your clan, and you would be part of mine." Brahm paused. "I wanted you to know this before I eat. So you can take the food away if you wish. I would understand." Tae-woo looked at the plate of simple food. Rice and vegetables and protein cubes. Such a small thing. But to Brahm, it meant everything. He pushed the plate closer to the alien. "It is just dinner." Brahm stared at him. His eyes were wet again. Then, slowly, he reached out with two of his arms and took the plate. He ate, not fast and desperate like Tae-woo expected. Slow and careful. Like every bite was precious. The twins ate too. They asked Brahm questions between bites. So many questions. What was his planet like? Did Valkyrie have pets? Could he change the colors of his skin on purpose, or did it just happen? What was his favorite food? Did Valkyrie children go to school? Brahm answered every question. His voice was tired but patient. Tae-woo could see that he was not used to talking this much. Maybe he had not talked to anyone in months. They learned that Valkyrie did not hug. They did not touch casually like humans did. Physical contact was rare and deeply meaningful. Parents touched their babies when they were very young, but even that stopped early. Adults almost never touched each other. The idea of hugging a stranger was unthinkable, disturbing, almost shameful. "That is so lonely," Sora said. Her voice was sad. "Do you not want hugs?" Brahm's skin flickered with a color Tae-woo could not read. "We do not have a word for hug in my language. We do not understand why humans do it. Why would you press your body against another? It seems strange to us." "It feels nice," they said simply. "When you are sad or scared, a hug makes you feel better. Like someone is holding all your bad feelings with you." Brahm was quiet. He looked at the small boy with something like wonder. "I have not been touched by another being in over 40 cycles," he said finally. "That is maybe 40 of your years. Since I became an adult, no one has touched me." Sora made a sound of shock. 40 years? That is older than a pa. Tae-woo finished his food and took the plates to the cleaning unit. When he came back, the twins were yawning. It was past their bedtime. He had let them stay up late because of their strange guest, but they needed sleep. "Time for bed," he said. The twins protested, of course. They wanted to talk more with Brahm. They wanted to ask more questions. But Tae-woo was firm. He walked them to their bedroom, helped them change into sleep clothes, and tucked them into their beds. "Appa," Sora said, her eyes already half closed. "I like Brahm. He is nice." "He is sad," they said from the other bed. "But I think he can get better. If someone helps him." Tae-woo kissed both their foreheads. "Sleep now. We will talk more tomorrow." He turned off the light and walked back to the main room. Brahm was sitting near the window, looking out at the stars. His massive body was still. His skin pulsed with slow, weak gray light. Taewoo sat on the couch. For a while, neither of them spoke. Then Taewoo said, "You are not just exiled, are you? Something else is wrong." Brahm did not turn from the window. "You are observant. Your children get it from you. Tell me." The alien was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was different, smaller. "Valkyrie are semi-social beings. We need connection to survive. Not touch, but presence. Acknowledgement. The knowledge that we exist to someone else. When we are cut off from others completely, our bodies begin to shut down. It is slow, takes months, maybe years, but it happens." Taewoo felt cold. "You are dying." "Yes." Brahm turned from the window. His skin was dim, barely glowing. "My body is giving up. Without connection, without belonging anywhere, there is no reason for it to continue. It is not painful. It is just fading. Every day, a little more of me disappears. How long do you have?" "I do not know. Weeks. Maybe a month. Not long." Taewoo thought about his own dark days after Yuna died. The times he had wanted to give up. The times his body had felt like it was fading too. He had survived because of Sora and Day. They had needed him. Without them, he might have faded too. Is there a cure? He asked. "Connection," Brahm said. "Belonging. A clan that accepts me. But no one will accept the shamed Valkyrie. I am untouchable. I will die alone. It is what I deserve. Stop saying that." Brahm looked at him with surprise. Taewoo stood up. His voice was harder now. "Stop saying you deserve this. Nobody deserves to die alone. Not even my enemies. Your wife, my wife is dead. Nothing will bring her back. Hating you will not bring her back. Letting you die will not bring her back." Taewoo took a breath. "I spent 15 years full of hate. It did not help. It just made the empty places inside me bigger." Brahm watched him. His skin flickered with pale, uncertain colors. "Get some sleep," Taewoo said. "The couch is too small for you. You can sleep on the floor. I will bring blankets." He walked to the closet and pulled out the extra blankets he kept for cold nights. When he brought them to Brahm, the alien took them with trembling hands. "Why?" Brahm whispered. "Why are you helping me?" Taewoo looked toward the bedroom door. Behind it, his children were sleeping, dreaming of whatever children dream of. They had seen a broken alien and wanted to help. "No hate, no fear. Just kindness. Because they asked me to," Taewoo said. "And because maybe I am tired of carrying war inside me." He went to his own room and closed the door. But he did not sleep for a long time. He lay in the darkness, thinking about a dying alien in his living room, and wondering what Yuna would say if she could see them now. He thought she would smile. The station's night cycle was deep and quiet. Most people were sleeping. The corridor lights had changed from white to soft blue. The hum of machines was the only sound in the small home. Taewoo lay in his bed, staring at the ceiling. Sleep would not come. His mind kept going back to Brahm's words. Dying, fading, weeks left. The alien was in his living room right now, slowly disappearing from existence, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. Or was there? Taewoo thought about connection, about belonging. The Valkyrie needed these things to survive, but their culture did not allow them. Touch was forbidden. Accepting help was shameful. They had built a society where weakness meant death, where failure meant eternal loneliness. It was cruel. It was cold. And it was killing Brahm slowly. Humans were different. Taewoo thought about all the times he had been held after Yuna died. His mother had hugged him so tight he could not breathe. His fellow soldiers had put hands on his shoulders, had sat with him in silence. Even strangers had touched his arm, had said simple words of comfort. He had hated it at the time. He had wanted to be alone. But those touches had kept him alive. They had reminded him that he existed, that someone saw his pain. Brahm had none of that. 40 years without touch. Months without anyone even speaking to him. His body was shutting down because his heart had already given up. Taewoo heard a sound from the other room. He sat up and listened. It was soft, almost like breathing, but not quite. Like air escaping slowly from something. He got out of bed and walked quietly to the door. He opened it and looked into the living room. Brahm sat near the window, wrapped in blankets. His massive body was shaking. Small tremors that moved through him like waves. His skin pulsed with colors Taewoo had never seen before. Dark blues and grays, but also flashes of something else. Something painful. And Taewoo realized what the sound was. Brahm was crying, not like humans cried, with tears and sobs. It was deeper, stranger. His whole body made the sound, a low vibration that was both physical and emotional. It was the saddest sound Taewoo had ever heard. He stood frozen in the doorway, not knowing what to do. This was his enemy crying in his home. The same species that had killed his wife. He should feel satisfied. He should feel justice. But instead, he felt his heart break a little. Then he saw movement from the twins' room. The door was open. Sora and Day stood there in their sleep clothes, watching Brahm with wide eyes. They had heard him too. They had heard everything. Taewoo's heart jumped. He moved toward them, wanting to shield them from this. "Go back to bed," he whispered. "It is late." But Sora did not listen. She never did. She walked past her father, her bare feet soft on the metal floor. She walked straight toward Brahm. The alien did not notice her at first. He was lost in his grief, his skin pulsing dark colors, his body shaking. Then Sora reached out and touched his arm. Brahm's whole body jerked like he had been shocked. His skin flared with color. Bright orange and red, the colors of alarm. He pulled away from her touch, his 6 arms wrapping around himself. "No," he said. His voice was rough and broken. "No, little one. You cannot touch me." Sora did not step back. "Why not?" "Because it is forbidden. Because I am shamed. Because you should not waste your kindness on someone like me." Brahm's skin flickered wildly. "I am unworthy. I am nothing. I am. You are crying," Sora said simply. "And when someone is crying, you hug them. That is what Appa taught us." Brahm made a sound. Half laugh, half sob. "Your father is a strange man." Day had come forward too. He stood next to his sister, looking up at the massive alien with calm, serious eyes. "Brahm," he said softly, "I think you need a hug." The alien went still. His skin stopped flickering. The whole room seemed to hold its breath. "A hug," Brahm repeated. The words sounded foreign on his tongue. "I have never. I do not know how." Sora looked at her brother. Then she looked at Brahm. "Can we embrace you?" she asked. "Please?" Tae-woo watched from across the room. His feet felt glued to the floor. Part of him wanted to stop this. Part of him wanted to grab his children and pull them away. But another part of him, a deeper part, knew that this was right. This was what Yuna would have wanted. This was what humanity was supposed to be. Brahm was shaking harder now. Not from sadness, but from something else. Fear, maybe. Or hope. His skin pulsed with colors that had no names, feelings too complex for words. "I cannot," he whispered. "I am forbidden. I am shamed. If I accept your touch, I will be weak. You will be alive," Taewoo said. Everyone looked at him. He walked forward slowly. His body was tense, but his eyes were gentle. He knelt down next to his children. "On Earth," he said, "we have a saying, 'What does not kill you makes you stronger.' But I think that is wrong. I think what makes us strong is the people who keep us alive when we want to die. The ones who hold us when we are falling apart. Without them, we are nothing. With them, we can survive anything." He looked at Brahm, man to alien, enemy to enemy. "Let them hold you," he said quietly. "Let someone catch you, just once. It does not make you weak. It makes you human." "I am not human," Brahm said. "No," Taewoo agreed. "But maybe tonight you can try to be." The alien looked at him for a long time. His dark eyes were wet with something like tears. His massive body trembled with emotions that had been locked away for 40 years. Then, slowly, he opened his 6 arms. Sora moved first. She stepped forward and wrapped her small arms around what little of Brahm she could reach. Her hands did not even meet on the other side. She pressed her face against his gray skin and held on tight. They moved next. He came from the other side and hugged Brahm too. His small body looked tiny against the alien's massive form. But he held on with quiet strength. Brahm made a sound. A deep sound that came from somewhere inside him that had been silent for decades. His skin burst into colors. Not the dim grays and blues of before. Bright colors. Gold like sunlight. Violet like evening skies. Deep burning red like fire. Colors that had no human names. Colors that meant feelings beyond words. And then Brahm wrapped his 6 arms around the 2 small children who were holding him. Gently. Carefully. Like they were made of glass. Like they were the most precious things in the universe. He wept. Really wept. The sound filled the room. Deep and raw and real. 40 years of loneliness came pouring out of him. 40 years of shame and pain and wanting to be touched and being told he could not. It all broke apart in that moment. Taewoo watched. His own eyes were wet now. He did not try to hide it. The hug lasted a long time. Nobody counted. Nobody wanted it to end. Sora held on. They held on. Brahm held them both, his massive body curved around them like a shield, his skin glowing brighter than it had in months. When they finally pulled apart, something had changed. Taewoo could see it in Brahm's face, in the way he held himself, in the light that moved under his skin. The dim dying gray was gone. Color had returned. Life had returned. "How do you feel?" Sora asked. Brahm looked down at her. His dark eyes were soft now, warm. I feel like I exist again. Like I am real. Like I am not disappearing anymore." They smiled. "That is what hugs do. They remind you that you are real." Brahm reached out one arm. Slowly, carefully, he touched the top of Day's head. Just a gentle press of his hand against the boy's hair. In Valkyrie culture, this was huge. This was sacred. This was family. "Thank you," Brahm said. His voice cracked on the words. "Thank you both. I do not deserve this. But thank you." Taewoo stepped forward. He did not know why he did it. His body moved before his mind could stop it. He reached out and put his hand on Brahm's arm. The alien looked at him. Man and alien. Old enemies. And yet, here they were, connected by 2 small children who did not know how to hate. "Stay with us," Taewoo said. "Not just tonight. Stay." Brahm's skin glowed gold. The brightest gold Taewoo had ever seen on him. "Why?" he asked. "After everything my people did to you? To your wife? Why would you let me stay?" Taewoo looked at his children, at Sora's fierce heart, at Day's quiet wisdom, at the light in their eyes that no war had ever touched. "Because they taught me something tonight," he said. They taught me that hate is heavy, and I am tired of carrying it. I want to put it down. I want to try something different. What do you want to try?" Tae-woo smiled. It was a small smile, tired and worn. But it was real. "Kindness," he said. "I want to try kindness." The night cycle continued outside. The stars turned slowly. The station hummed its endless song. And in one small home, 3 humans and 1 alien sat together in the blue light, bound by something stronger than war, stronger than hate, stronger than anything the galaxy had ever known. They sat together. And they healed. 3 months passed on Halo 7 station. The lights still glowed soft white during the day and soft blue at night. Ships still came and went from the cargo docks. Life continued as it always had. But for one small family, everything had changed. Brahm lived with them now. He slept on the floor of the living room, wrapped in blankets that smelled like the twins' drawings because they had insisted on decorating them. He ate meals with the family every evening. He walked the twins to school in the mornings while Tae-woo went to work. He had become part of their life, strange as it seemed. The change in him was clear to anyone who looked. His skin glowed now, not the dim gray of dying, but the warm colors of living. Gold and soft blue and peaceful green. He moved with purpose. He spoke with strength. He was not the broken creature who had sat alone in the cargo bay. He was something new. Tae-woo had helped him find work at the docks. It was not easy. Many humans did not want to work with a Valkyrie. Some remembered the war. Some had lost family like Tae-woo had. But Tae-woo vouched for him. He stood beside Brahm and said, "This alien is with me." Slowly, people accepted it. Brahm was a good worker, strong and careful. He could lift cargo that would take 3 humans to move. He never complained. He never got tired. And most surprising of all, he learned to smile. Valkyrie could not smile like humans did. Their faces were not built for it. But Brahm learned to make his skin glow warm gold when he was happy, and humans learned to read that as his smile. The twins loved him. They climbed on him like he was a mountain. They asked him endless questions about his planet and his people. They taught him human games and human songs. Sora insisted on hugging him every morning and every night. They sat with him in the evenings and read him stories from his school tablet. Brahm listened to every story like it was the most important thing in the universe. Word spread quietly through the station. People talked. In the cafeteria and the corridors and the cargo bays, they whispered about the strange family. A human veteran who had fought in the war, living with a Valkyrie exile. 2 small children who hugged an alien every day. It sounded impossible. It sounded like a joke. But people saw them walking together, and the whispers changed from doubt to wonder. Then the scientists came. They were not human scientists. They were from a species called the Noma, small pale beings with large heads and curious eyes. The Noma studied life across the galaxy. They wanted to understand why species were the way they were. And they had heard about Brahm, a Valkyrie exile who should have been dead. A dying creature who was now alive and healthy. They wanted to know how. They wanted to know why. Tae-woo did not want to talk to them. He was tired of being watched, tired of being studied like something strange. But the Noma were polite and patient. They asked nicely. They said they wanted to understand, not to judge. So Tae-woo agreed. He sat with Brahm in a small meeting room on the station while 2 Noma scientists asked him questions. "You were dying," one Noma said to Brahm. "Your body was shutting down from isolation. This is well documented in Valkyrie biology. And yet, you recovered." "How?" Brahm looked at Tae-woo. His skin glowed soft blue. "The children hugged me." The Noma looked confused. Physical contact caused biological healing? Not just physical contact. Brahm said. Connection. Acceptance. These humans took me into their home. They fed me. They spoke to me. They treated me like family. My body remembered what it felt like to belong somewhere, and it decided to keep living. The Noma wrote things down. They asked more questions. They measured Brahm's skin colors and took samples of his cells. They studied everything about him. When they were done, they sat quietly for a long moment. Then the older one spoke. This is remarkable. We have studied many species across the galaxy. Velkari, Noma, dozens of others. All of them survive through structure, through rules and hierarchies and keeping distance from others. But humans are different. How are we different? Tawu asked. You touch, the Noma said. Casually, constantly. You hug strangers when they're sad. You hold hands with friends. You pat shoulders and shake hands and embrace each other for no reason at all. To most species, this is strange, even disturbing. But we are starting to understand something. What? The Noma's large eyes blinked slowly. Human touch heals. Not just emotions, but bodies. Not just humans, but other species too. Something in your way of connecting spreads life wherever you go. You make other beings want to live. Tawu did not know what to say. He had never thought of humanity that way. To him, hugging was just normal. Touching was just what you did. He had not known it was special. The news spread beyond the station. Scientists from other worlds came to study. Diplomats came to ask questions. Reporters came to tell the story. The human veteran and the Velkari exile. The children who hugged an alien back to life. It sounded like a fairy tale, but it was real. Other things began to change too. Velkari on the station started to notice Brahm. At first, they avoided him like before. He was still shamed, still exiled. But then they saw how healthy he looked, how bright his colors were. They heard what the scientists said about human touch. And slowly, some of them began to wonder. One day, a young Velkari approached Brahm while he was working at the docks. She was small for her kind, her skin flickering nervous yellow. You are dying, she said. Everyone knows this. And now you are not. How? Brahm told her the truth. The children, the hugs, the family that accepted him. The young Velkari was quiet for a long time. Then she said, I am shamed too. Different reason than you. But I am alone. I feel myself fading. Brahm looked at her. He understood her fear. He understood her pain. And he did something that no Velkari had ever done for another. Shamed one. He reached out and touched her arm. The young alien froze. Her skin burst in the colors of shock and confusion. But she did not pull away. She stood there, trembling, feeling the first touch she had received in years. Find the humans, Brahm said softly. Let them help you. They do not judge like we do. They do not understand shame like we do. They just care. It is strange, but it works. The young Velkari nodded. She walked away with tears in her eyes and colors of hope on her skin. More Velkari came after her. Not many, but some. The shamed ones. The exiled ones. The dying ones. They came to the station looking for humans who might touch them, might hold them, might save them. And humans, being humans, opened their arms. It was not a revolution. It was not a great change that swept across the galaxy. It was small and quiet and slow. But it was real. Years later, when historians studied this time, they called it the beginning of something new. They said this was when the galaxy learned that humanity's greatest weapon was not technology or war. It was something simpler, something warmer. But on the night, everything changed. Nobody was thinking about history. On that night, Sora asked Brahm a question. They were sitting in the living room after dinner. Tae Wu was washing dishes. Day was reading a book. Brom was looking out the window at the stars, his skin glowing peaceful green. "Brom," Sora said, "do Valkyrie ever say I love you?" The alien turned to look at her. He thought about the question for a long time. The translator in the room tried to find the right Valkyrie word, but failed. There was no direct match. "We do not say it with words," Brom said finally. "We show it with colors. This one." His skin shifted to a deep, warm gold. Not the gold of happiness, but something deeper. Something older. This color means something close. It means you are part of my soul. You are home. Sora smiled. "That is beautiful." Day looked up from his book. "Can you teach us to read your colors?" "I can try," Brom said. Tay-Wu finished the dishes and came to sit with them. He looked at Brom, at his children, at this strange family they had become. He thought about Yuna. He thought about the war. He thought about all the hate he had carried for so long. The hate was still there, somewhere deep inside. Maybe it would always be there. But it was smaller now, quieter. It did not fill him the way it used to. There was room for other things. Better things. "Brom," twHFY said, "do you regret coming to human space?" Brom's skin glowed that deep gold again. "No, I came here to die. Instead, I found a family. I found a reason to live. I found something my people do not have a word for." "What?" Brom looked at the twins, at twHFY, at this small room that had become his home. "This," he said, "this feeling, when you are with people who see you, who touch you, who will not let you fade away. My language does not have a word for it, but I think humans do." Sora climbed into Brom's lap, something she did often now. "What word?" Brom wrapped two of his arms around her gently. "Love," he said. "I think you call it love." twHFY felt his eyes grow wet. He did not fight it. He let the tears come. They were not tears of sadness. They were tears of something else. Something that had been broken inside him for 15 years, finally healing. He reached out and put his hand on Brom's arm. The alien's skin glowed warm under his touch. "Yes," twHFY said quietly. "That is what we call it." Outside the window, the stars turned slowly. The station hummed its endless song. And somewhere in the galaxy, a story spread. A story about a veteran who learned to forgive. About twins who taught an alien to hope. About a dying creature who was saved by something as simple as a hug. It was a small story. Just one family on one station at the edge of known space. But small stories have power.